Hello and welcome back to ASSON Tech Hub Web Development Series. In our previous video, we looked at how to work with HTML heading tags and paragraph tags. So in this video, we're going to be looking at how to add an image to your web page and also how to link your web pages together. So to add an image to your web page, you need the image to be in your root folder. So this is it in my root folder here, the web dev from my desktop. So in the root folder there, I have copied and pasted an image there. I called it image1. You can see it there. So now let's go to the Visual Studio Code. Inside Visual Studio Code now, you can see that the image is now showing here. So if you have the image in your root folder, the way you link it is different from how you link the one that is in another folder. Okay, in another way, we can also link an image that is in another folder, which is the perfect way of organizing your web content. So to do this, let's go back to our folder there. Inside the folder, we're going to create a folder that will manage the images. So I'm going to right click and select new and click on folder, and I'll call this img. So the image folder, I'm going to call it img for short. So this same image I have there, let me get a copy of it and open to the img folder. So right click and paste it there. So I'm going to rename this one to img2, though it's the same image but in different location. So now we have this image in two places. Back to the IDE now, you will discover that we have a new folder now called img, and if you click on it, you can see that the image is showing the image2. Now the next thing you need to know while linking your image is the extension of your image. So now that I have the image, you can see under type is showing the type file here. What if in your own case you don't arrange your system in a way that you show this from your window explorer? Just right click on the image and click on the properties. So from the properties option there, you can see the actual type of your image is showing you here. The image and the .what is .png. So image comes in different extension. We can have .jpg, which is also stand for JPEG, and we can have .jpeg, which is also stand for JPEG. So you must know the actual extension of your image. Like if you use your phone to snap an image, it's coming in JPG. But if you have a screenshot, for instance, it's coming in PNG. So you need to know the actual extension of the image. So now we know the actual extension of the image. So the next thing to do is to go back to our IDE. So let's try to link the image that is in the same source folder. So back to our Visual Studio Code here, we're going to create a new file, which is 03 image link.html. So here we'll do shift 1 and tab. So the title, we're going to change it to HTML images and links. So that is it. We'll save this and let's open it up with our live server. So that's it. We have opened it up with our live server in the browser here. As you can see, it's displaying the title. That's the only thing there on the web page for now. So back to our IDE. Inside our IDE here, we're going to link the image first. Let's start with image linking. So for the image linking, all I'll have to do is to use a tag for the image. The tag for the image is img. So type img and click on the tab button. So when you hit the tab button, it's going to give you this, because to link an image, you need a source. This src you are seeing here is the source of the image. The source of the image is the location of where the image is coming from, alongside, like, that is the full part of the image, the location of where the image is coming from, alongside with the name and the extension of the image. So now we are linking the one that is on the same in the same folder with it. That is the root folder. So all we need to do is to type the name of the image. So I'm going to type image1.png, and as you can see, if you are typing the right name, the name of what is actually there in your image is going to kind of predict it for you. So you can just hit the tab button and get it linked without having issue with your extensions. So now this is how this works. So we can save this now. Though you can see that in my own, if I hover on it, you can see it will display the image. This is how the image look like, the dimension of the image, the size, everything is showing. Okay, I'll show you how to have this kind of extension in your own Visual Studio Code as we move further. So, but this is all we need now. So let's save this and go back to our browser. So in our browser now, you discover that the whole web page now is now displaying the image. But let's assume this image, you don't want it to take the entire screen. you want to take the entire size of your screen, you can actually size it. Okay, so let's look at how to set a width and a height for your image. So back to the IDE in Visual Studio Code here. So we can add other attributes like the width and the style, the width and the height option. So let's start with width. So we'll set the width, and we'll say the width should be equal to, let's do something like 250 pixel. So pixel is just like a measurement. Okay, these are kind of measurement we use when setting height and width in HTML. We can use pixel, we can use rem, we can use m. There are many of them. I will explain them on a separate video. So this is just like an extension. When we start working with CSS, that's when I'm going to explain that for you. So I'm going to say that this should be just 250 pixel. So let's save this, and if we save this and go back to the site, you can see that the image automatically resizes itself. The next attribute is the attribute that was displaying in here before, the alt attribute. So what's the function of the alt attribute? Like as the name implies, alt, alternative. So it's there for a case that maybe your user tried to load the site and they have network issues, so the site did not load completely. The image is not going to display. So if the image is not displaying, let it show a word of what the image is all about. So now we are using an image here, and I want it to show that, okay, image 1. So if it is a logo now, say logo, so that if the image, if it does not load properly, they'll know that, okay, due to the network they cannot say the logo, but the image that's supposed to be there is logo. So let's save it, because if you don't do that, it's going to bring us something different that doesn't make any sense. So now let's save this and go back to the browser, and you discover nothing happened. Yes, nothing will happen. Let's assume there is an error in typing this image. I made a mistake in typing the name of the image. If you go back to the site now, you can see that it's no longer showing the image, rather it's showing an image icon with that alternative word we put there, image 1. So that is the function of the alt key. So let's go back to our IDE, and I'm just going to undo it, and that is it. So this is the first way, linking an image that is in the same root folder with your file. Now the next one is how to link an image that is in another folder. I've shown you that already. We copy an image, this is the root folder, the one we just linked now is this one. So this is where we have everything. So inside the root folder we have an img folder, which is where we have the second image, image 2. So let's see how to link this image. The procedure of linking image are different based on their location. So let's go back here. So we're going to use the same img tab. So I'm going to type img and hit the tab button. So this is it. So the source now, this time around, remember we are entering the image folder first, which is this img folder you are seeing here. So we're going to type img /. So now you can see if once you do this, it will display the list of all the images there. So you can type it and you can just hit the tab button on your key and it will select it. So this is how it works. Now this image, if we save it now and go to our page there, you can see that we have the second image displaying down here. You can see we have not set width for it, so it's kind of very big, as you can see it. So this is how it works. If you are here, let's assume you say, no, I know I have an image 2 in the entire folder, so let me just type image 2. The moment you save your work, you discover that you will not see anything because image 2 is not being linked properly. So it's essential for you to bring the name of the folder, then you use the / to bring the name of the file. So if in this image folder, I still have it in a folder called portfolio, I'll still need to put /portfolio before using /image 2. But since it's directly in the image folder, I can just do the img / image2.png, and that is how it works. So in the first one we looked at height. So in this second one we're going to look at, in the first one we look at width. So let's look at height. So you can set a height for your image. So let's say a height equals to, so let's say height is equal to, let me do something like 500 pixel, then save the work. And if we go back to the page, you can see what I'm talking about. You see it, this is how this reduce. And as far as you do not set it separate, it will be what? relative. It will be relative to the width. So that is how it works. And an img tag is an inline tag. We have a inline tag and we have inline tags in HTML, and img is one of it. So what it does is that it will keep adding them to themselves. So if you want it if you want to have it in a different page, there's a special tag that you can use for that, and you can use your CSS to actually break them as well. So if I just want to do this because I'm using just raw HTML, I can do the BR. So just open the BR tag. The BR tag is an open tag, it does not have a closing tag. So just type it in front of the first image there and save your work. Once you go back to the page, now you discover that every image is going to be in their own separate line. So it have demarcated them. So that is how it works, and this is how to work with images in HTML. So the next thing is link. Now let's see how to link your pages. So let's go back here. As you can see, we have 3 documents now. We have 3 pages now currently. We have the welcome page, the heading tag, and the image tag. So now from this image tag, I would like to link the welcome page, which is 01 basic.html. Okay, to link a page, ensure you have everything. You can link an internal page and you can also link an external page. I can link an external page like google.com into my page, and we can link an internal page, which is the pages of the same site we're developing. So to link an internal page, this is the one we're going to do first. Just type A and hit enter. The A is the anchor tag, which comes with a href. This href is what will contain your URL. So now in here, we're going to type the URL for the first file there, which is 01 basic.html. So we'll type in 01 basic.html. That is for it. But if you save your work and go to the browser, trust me, nothing will display. Why? Because you haven't typed what should display. So back to there. So in the open tag here, that is where you inside the href attribute, that is where you now type the what that's where you type the URL for the page. So before the closing tag, it's where you type what you want to display. So I want to show something like home, take me back home, something like that. So we'll type home in here and save. If you go back to the page now, you are going to see that we'll have the home here, as you can see it here. So the anchor tag is also an inline tag. If you want to have it on a separate line, you can use a break. So this is how it works. You can see the home now. So if I click on this home, it's going to load and take me to the home. You can see we're now in 0 basic. Remember the video then what we did that with that site, that is the basic fundamental tags. So you can see now showing you what welcome to ASSON Tech Hub. So we can also link back from here to the image tag and do lots more of things. So this is how the linking work. Linking the page is how it works. This is how linking a page work. The next thing to do is how to link an external page. Okay, linking an external page, you do the same procedure, just that it will be different. So visit the site where you want to link from. For instance, you see https:/google.com, then you copy it back to your extension. In the href here, you will now paste it, and that is how it works for it. So the only difference with external link is that it will call with https:/www.google.com, stuff like that. Or maybe if you are linking something like youtube.com, facebook.com, so it will come with the https. So you get the full part of it and replace it in here. So in the next video, I'm going to put up everything together and we'll have a complete web page based on this basic we have learned. See you there.